Ryder Cup, Day 2 preview and tips from Ben Coley in Paris. It was a good first day for Europe and for followers of Ben Coley and #X27 tips. Don and #X27 team is our man and #X27 advice ahead of Saturday and #X27 action at the Ryder Cup. 2 pints Justin Thomas to be top USA scorer at 4-1 for details of advised bookmakers and each way terms. Visit our transparent tipping record yesterday. I wrote that Thomas Bjorn might just have attempted a rope-a-dope and, while far more dramatic and pronounced than perhaps intended, it paid off in style as Europe won the foursomes 4-0 to lead 5-3 overall. In starting the Ryder Cup with 4 balls, Bjorn posed some difficult questions to opposite number Jim Furyk. Are you willing to send players like Bubba Watson and Phil Mickelson out early, and if not, will you be brave enough to leave them on the bench all day? Furyk responded by playing both in the format which would appear to suit them least, particularly around a tight course like Le Golf National, and Bjorn and #X27 strong European foursomes lineup took full advantage by making history in the afternoon. Bjorn and #X27 plan did not include losing the 4 balls 3-1, of course, but he did succeed in forcing Furyk into an undoubted mistake, and it and #X27 the blue team who carry the initiative into Saturday and #X27 play. Viewed that way, it and #X27 less surprising that Furyk reverts to his preferred 4-ball pairings, those who were so successful in the opening session. Still, the two who lost, Patrick Reed and Tiger Woods, can perhaps count themselves fortunate. Webb Simpson really ought to be playing instead of one of them. Bjorn meanwhile looks like a man with a plan, one he and #X27 largely stick to. He could and #X27 very well choose an identical 4-ball lineup given that his side suffered a heavy morning defeat, but nor did he simply send the 8 who were so dominant in a different format back into battle. Perhaps his shrewdest move will prove to be resting Justin Rose and Henrik Stenson for another foursomes assault, the former certainly in need of a break, and there and #X27 some temptation to back Europe to win the second session of the day once more. That said, the market has adjusted accordingly, and I and #X27 rather side with Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas in some way, namely giving the edge to the latter at around 4-1 in the top USA scorer market. The first point to make is that 6 players remain genuine contenders for this, unless all goes hopelessly wrong. And of the 6, it and #X27 these 2 who both impressed in 4 balls and, to my eye, look well drawn for the third session. I was disappointed with John Ram and #X27 back 9 display alongside Rose, while Ian Poulter, for all he looked to play well with Rory McIlroy, is probably a slightly better foursomes player. This untested combination could click and produce fireworks, but I and #X27 am not totally convinced, and that makes this US duo the pick of the pairings. However, they and #X27 odds on and short enough, whereas if they do win the full point, they will be out again in foursomes. That and #X27 hinted at in the fact that Furyk has held him back for the final match of the morning, allowing a little more time to recover if they fill the same spot in the afternoon. With all that in mind, and the fact that Spieth and #X27 singles record rates a genuine concern, Thomas ought to be clear favorite. Having passed over the 7-1 about my strongest fancy from the head of the betting before the event began, I and #X27 am more than happy to go in now that he and #X27 ahead of 6 compatriots and looks poised to add to his tally over the weekend. Posted at 18:55 BST on September 28, 2018. Friday morning, 0710 BST starred both players in each pairing play their own ball. A hole is won by the team whose member has the lowest score. Friday afternoon, 1250 BST starred both players in each pairing take it in turns to play one ball. A hole is won by the team who completes it in the fewest shots. Saturday morning, 0710 BST start Saturday afternoon, 1250 BST start Sunday, 1105 BST start Europe Captain, Thomas Bjorn Players, Vice Captains United States Captain, Jim Furyk Players, Vice Captains.